Hey there, everyone. Okay, so yeah, sorry it's so dark. It's like 11 o'clock. I just got off shift. Today is June 10th, 2015. Um, like I said, I just got off shift, but I feel like this would be like the best time to do my weekly wrap up. So here's what happened this week. I mean, this week hasn't been bad. It's actually been pretty good. I had a lot of good experiences. I saw a lot of things I haven't seen before. So I'm gonna start with Monday. I don't know where I left off on the last one, but I'll start off with Monday. Monday, I didn't have a partner that I knew. I ended up finding out who I worked with like Sunday night, and dude's name was Jack Johnson, which, by the way, sounds like a superhero name. It's like so cool, and so I worked with, and he's a great guy to work with. I mean, as an EMT, he knows his shit. As a person, he's awesome. He's a nerd like me. He's got a Green Lantern tattoo, which instantly made him cool with me. Just to know that he flies his geek flag with pride, and that is amazing. I love when people do that. But I'm not. Honestly, I can't really remember any of the calls from that day. I know that they were all pretty good. Nothing bad happened, but they're all pretty good. And honestly, I couldn't have asked for anything more. But I really look forward to working with him again. We exchanged numbers, and he knows that I don't have a partner throughout the week anymore. And he said he wants to work together again, which is awesome. Again, I would love to work with him again. Tuesday actually wasn't that great. It didn't start off great. I got there early as normal. Like I got there around like maybe 12:30 for my 1 o'clock shift, and I was just sitting around. I was bullshitting with people. Josh Borowick, that's his name. Ended up coming in early, and I was talking with him and whatnot. And then like when it was time to punch in, I punched in, and I waited a little bit, and my partner never came in. And he's my normal partner. He's the one who ran Lights and Sirens, and from now on, I will refer to him as Lights and Sirens. He never came in, so I waited about 10 minutes. Then I called dispatch. I'm like, hey, my partner never came in. What do you want me to do about it? And they said, oh, yeah, he hasn't punched in yet. You know what? Just go check out a rig, and we'll call you back. It's okay. So I talked to a station manager. I was like, hey, you know what? My partner never came in. Should I keep waiting for him or what? And they're like, oh, yeah, he's not coming in. I'm like, oh, is he sick? Did he call off? And they said no. The fact that they know he's not coming in and that he's not sick means that he wasn't a no-show, and he was probably told not to come in, which leads me to believe that he's either suspended until like further notice, pending an investigation because of the report I put in, or he got fired, which I really hate to see it, but I'm not gonna take a bullet for a guy who's not gonna lift a finger for me. So that's where I stand on it. But in other news, I ended up working a weird shift. The partner I got paired up with was from Schaumburg. His name tag literally said old man on it, and he looked like he was probably in his 60s. Hated his job, bitched and moaned the entire time. He got held over because his shift was for like 8 to 6. He got held over an hour, and when he got that last call at like 5:30, he actually threw the receiver. And all I could think was, man, you are a full-grown man. You are in your 50s, at least six. Like you're at least in your 50s. You should know how to control your anger by now. You should know that this is your job. So just shut up and do it. That's all I have to say. But for some people, that's just too much to ask, and that's a shame. But it really shows that not everyone's cut out to do this job, and if you really hate it that much, you shouldn't be doing it to begin with. But he said it's just a means to an end. He's just here for the insurance. And I'm like, part of being in healthcare is actually caring about the health of your patients, not just, oh, it's Joe Schmuckatelli. Okay, let's get him from point A to point B. No, talk to him. Figure out what's going on. Hey, how you doing, buddy? No, that was too much for him to handle, and he's not somebody I ever want to work with again. Because I love my job. And I don't need people like him pulling me down. Anyway, so I got back to the station around 7 o'clock. And I talked to my station manager. I'm like, hey, you know what? Man, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. My shift doesn't end until 10, but my partner went home because his shift ended at 6. I don't want to get screwed out of 4 hours, so what do you want? Or 3 hours, what do you want me to do? He's like, oh, just sit down and talk. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. So I sat there and I kind of bullshit with him, and I ended up talking to him, and I talked to some other EMTs, and I made some friends, and I'm like, this is awesome. I met a girl named Brittany who is going to take her MCATs, and I'm like, wow, she's really smart. She really cares about it. She really likes the healthcare industry. So much so that she wants to be a doctor. I'm like, man, go for it. You got my thumbs up, which, really don't really need, but hey, more power to you. We need more people like that in the world. And her partner, Ariel, he's a good guy. I mean, he's a little cocky, but a little cockiness is interesting when it comes to this job. And the fact that he had that kind of humor about him after he's been on shift for like 18 hours really says something. That he's got that positive outlook, and that's what I look for in a partner. But I don't know if I'm going to be working with him, so whatever. Hopefully my next permanent partner, or my first permanent partner, will be kind of like that. Today's Wednesday. Today actually had my best calls of the week because I actually remember them. Again, I didn't have a partner scheduled, and I ended up having to wait around for an hour until I got a partner. My partner her name's Nicole, and she was actually part of another crew. Well, they had to split the crew up because me and another EMT couldn't work together because I'm too new, and she's on a driving probation because she got a speeding ticket in her own personal vehicle, and that's not very bueno. I don't know who's behind me. Oh, it's my dad. Anyway, so that happened, and she was a little bitter about that, but after the entire, throughout the shift, she became more and more open. I thought she was genuinely going to hit me over my stupid jokes, but she didn't, thank God, so that's good. Anyway, most interesting call was probably, I had a patient today with gangrene. He lost both of his legs to diabetes, and which is terrible. And he's losing his hand to diabetes. I've never actually seen gangrene. His hand looked like a zombie hand. It was gross, but it was interesting at the same time. He was totally not with it, and I felt bad for him, but at the same time, whatever. It wasn't a bad call. It was interesting. I learned something, so it makes it a good call. But the feel-good call of the day was, I gotta say it was my first call. I got a patient this morning who we were called in for an overdose. He was severely depressed. He wanted to end his life. He wasn't even 40, and that really got to me. And even in his room, he was like, man, I don't want to do this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He was just, distraught about everything. And I was talking to him about things, and I was trying to see whatever his response was. And I decided, I was like, as an EMT, there's nothing I can do for him medically, but, as a person, I could talk to him. He's severely depressed. Depression, by definition, is just extreme sadness. You're just down about everything. And, well, it's not by definition. It's my definition. But, you know what? My goal was to get him to laugh. Get him to at least smile. So, first thing I asked him, I was like, hey, man, and for future reference, this is not his name. I'm going to use a fake name. His name is, I'm going to call him Joe Schmuckatelli. Every male patient from now on is going to be Joe Schmuckatelli. And if it's a girl, Jane Schmuckatelli. So I was like, hey, Joe, what kind of music do you listen to? He was like, well, everything, but I don't listen to country and heavy metal. So me being a smartass I am, I was like, hey, so if I throw on some hardcore polka, you're going to be okay with it? And he laughed. We weren't even out of the hospital. We were out off the floor, and he was laughing, which made me feel good. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep this going. I'm going to see if I can help him. So I did. I really kept it going, and I did everything I could. I was just human to him. Like, he wanted to use his phone to listen to his meditation, but he didn't have his phone with him. So I found the app he was talking about. I downloaded it. I threw it on the speaker, and he was just calm. He was so calm, his blood pressure actually dropped, which is actually amazing. But after, like, that track ended, we were talking, and I had him rolling, just laughing his ass off. And, like, he told me about his daughter and his son and his wife. His newborn daughter is named after his great-grandmother and his wife's great-grandmother. And I'm like, oh, that's great. You know what? I wanted to do something like that, too. Like, when I have a kid, my firstborn son, I wanted to name after my grandfather's. But seeing as my dad's name is Victor, and my mom's dad's name is Michael, I couldn't justify naming my kid Michael Vick. And he lost it. Like, I thought he was going to wet the cot laughing. And that made me really happy. That made me feel good. And he was even, and I gave him my card with my name, my partner's name, the run number, what station I'm out of. And I was like, you know what, man, if you ever need to talk, I'm sure you call this number, you give them my name, I'm sure they can find a way to get a hold of me, and we could talk if you need to really talk. I'm here for you. This is my job. And he said, you know what? I've been in this hospital a few days, and you're the first person to actually reach out like that, and I can't tell you how much it means to me. And he actually started to ball up, but it wasn't like he was before with the depression. It was like genuine appreciation. He was over the top happy that I was just human to him. I was nice. And as an EMT, as a person, that made me feel good. And that's my feel-good call of the day. So I told him to get well. He said, I'll try. And then I quoted Yoda. And I was like, there is no try, only do and don't. And he caught on to it. He started laughing. I was like, hey, yo, I'm doing... He's like, man, this guy is so funny. He made the ride so great. And he like just went on and on and on about me. I'm like, hey, you know what? I can't really take all the credit. I have seen Patch Adams before. And like a whip, just right off the bat, he caught me by surprise. He's like, where's your nose? And it took me a second. I'm like, my nose is on my face. He meant the red nose. I'm like, oh, yeah. It's back in the rig. I forgot it. I was like, damn. But he was laughing and he was having a good time, and I can't tell you how good that made me feel. But anyway, this video is getting a little too long, so I'm going to cut it off now. I'm going to try to recap again next week, or maybe later this week, or whenever the hell I feel like it, really. Anyway, so everyone out there, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me. I don't know if anybody's actually watching this, but this is for me later on anyway. So again, thanks, and you just have a great night.